All right, group one, we're going to take a look at your ratios. Assuming these are all correct, just kind of hope you guys took a step back to take a look at some of the fluctuations with NVIDIA. I think there is a reason why that this stock has experienced so much growth. It's pretty interesting, huh? So, just taking a look at the health of this company right now, assuming these are all correct. Um, Notice there's a huge jump from 2023 to 2024. And, while Microsoft has been staying fairly consistent, one thing that we do generally take a look at within a company is understanding healthy growth, and sometimes there might be too much growth. So here, this is awesome, but I would always almost kind of wonder if this growth is sustainable and what they're doing to get these. So this would warrant a little bit more investigation, but this is really fascinating for their financial statements. It does show that there is a lot of growth, and it would be something that management would want to take a look at and ensure that they do have the proper resources in place in order to handle this growth. So let me actually open up a second one, new window. Let's open off to the side, and I'm going to focus on your 2023 NVIDIA one. So this is the ones I'm going to take a look at. Let's start with your basic earnings per share. It is income statement for NVIDIA. You are taking C20. See here? C20, there you go. All right. I'm not worried about that. Sometimes this just that the way that those cells were a little smushed just has to do with how big our window is when we open it up. One thing I would recommend for formatting is if we are dealing with these large types of numbers, that we are putting commas in as necessary. We have in millions here twice, so I'd probably delete one of those in millions. So looking good. Okay, I'd probably take out the abstract here. Okay, and you guys are recognizing net income is the pretty much the bottom line number here, and all of this is kind of supplementary. And hopefully you guys did kind of check that. So looking at that, I'm thinking that your NVIDIA EPS is already correct, but let's play with it, right? All right, so C20 again, you got your net income. It's typically for our numerator, we would have to take out preferred dividends, but it does not look like we have any preferred stock. Yeah, here. Yeah, it doesn't look like any was issued. So none issued during the period. So there's no preferred dividends to take out of your numerator. And then your denominator is going to be those weighted average shares, and I am okay with you using those. Let me see if you did. You did. Perfect. There you go. If they did not give you these, you would have to go back to their balance sheet and calculate it. And keep in mind the way to calculate it is outstanding, right? So we would take our outstanding at the end of the year. So for 2023, that would be 2,466, or I guess the end of the period in this case, since they don't use a calendar year. And then the end of the prior year, which would be the beginning of 2023. So we'd have to go back 1 year, add them together, divide them, and this would give us a simple average. It's not the best, but if they did not provide this weighted average to us, we would have to go back and do that. So just a heads up, but beautiful job on that one. Let's take a look at this fun one here, this return on assets. So again, starting with your net income, C20, there it is again. I'm happy with that. Let's see, 1 minus your tax rate. I'm okay with you guys using a 21% tax rate times. Love this absolute. So I'm assuming that on your income statement, you have some interest expense, which is in the negative. And you do. Beautiful. Nice job with absoluting that negative number. Great. And we would need to have non-controlling interest. They do not have any non-controlling interest. That's it for the numerator. For your denominator, let's see. Ooh, struggling. Okay. Let me see. C16. Numbers are a little wonky here. We'd probably want to center. Oh, no, not that one. Center them. That one's not as important. Maybe bold them. Maybe. I don't know. Again, those cells, I can't really get on you guys too much about widening these columns because it really does depend on how zoomed in I am. Let's see. What was it? C16. Bear with me. I'm a little slow. There we go. Good. And then I'm assuming you grabbed D16. And you did. Divide by 2. Beautiful. Very nice job. Next, return on common shareholders' equity. Let's look at it again. We should see that C20, and we do. Good. We don't have any non-controlling interest. We don't have any preferred stock, so we don't have any preferred stock dividends. Average stockholders' equity. We're already on the balance sheet, so I should be seeing. Oh, we went to the stockholders' equity. Really quickly, I'm going to grab stockholders' equity information from here first. Here. Actually, let me hard code that in. And let's just see what you pulled from the stockholders' equity. B30. $22.22. Ending balance of 2023. Okay, wait, let me pause. B30. End of your fiscal period. Good. So we should have grabbed the beginning of our fiscal period. B17. Common stock outstanding. Huh. Okay. So there's one issue with using this consolidated statement of statements of stockholders' equity. When we're dealing with a lot of these numbers are being pulled from places that aren't quite going to match up with what is on our balance sheet. When you're doing your return on common shareholders' equity, you are going to want to try to always pull from your balance sheet. Because I've seen in a lot of cases, these numbers aren't quite giving us the numbers that they are giving us on our balance sheet. So like, for example, let's do the end of 2023. We see that our ending shareholders' equity, yeah, down here, end of 2023 fiscal period, 22,101. Good. Let me see, 26,612. Good. What did you pull then? B30, B17. Oh. Okay. So it looks like you just accidentally grabbed the common stock outstanding balance. Keep in mind here, we're doing the full ending balance, so you would actually have been okay. You're just one cell off. This one, instead of being B30, this one should just be B31. Let me check before I eat my words. Yeah, this one does have ending balances on this stockholders' equity statement. And B17. Okay, good. Yeah, so we were just one off there. What was it before? Yeah, so that does give us, that's a huge jump. Huge difference. While we're here, let's just take a look at these two. So this one would have also been off. This would have been B31. And then for 45 ending balances, that one should have been okay. Let's do that. Okay. So just keep that in mind. We're off by just one. Go ahead and make sure you make those changes on your own. That way that you will be ready once it comes time for the Module 6 assignment. And then these last three are always the best. They're usually super easy. Let's take a look. All right, income statement. Ooh, not Microsoft. Thank you for color coding these so well. Let's see. Income statement, NVIDIA C5. Yes. And then balance sheet. Accounts receivable. Should have been C6 and D6. And it is. Good job. Inventory, very similar. These are a little strange. Here, this cost of revenue, I'm assuming you use cost of revenue, yeah? Yeah. So, since we are dealing with inventory here, it's really important that we make sure we're grabbing specifically cost of goods sold when we try to calculate this one. Cost of revenue could mean cost of goods sold and also the cost for those revenues, service-based revenues, right? So typically the two main areas where we generate operating revenue would be inventory or it could be providing services. Cost of revenue is not 100% clear. For the purposes of this practice, since this is just simply academics, I'm okay with you using that. Just keep that in mind if you're ever trying to do this in practice in the field. This cost of revenue, you might have to go back to the financial statements and make sure that they are referring to cost of goods sold. And I'm guessing you grabbed your inventories. C7D7. Beautiful, beautiful job. Fixed assets turnover. Oh, always looking at the wrong year. C5. Good. 10, 10. Good. All right, beautiful. So I think really here you have a good understanding of those different formulas. Thank you for using the ones from the textbook. That's something I'm always kind of, harping on. Nice job with your cell referencing. I think that we could have done a little bit more with formatting as far as those cells, but overall formatting is gorgeous. I love how you kind of changed the colors. That was the quick and easy way for me to say, okay, I know I'm on the wrong statement. This doesn't look right. So you guys did a wonderful job. Like I was saying before, be wary of the stockholders' equity statements. And this is simply from SEC.gov. I've seen a lot of scenarios where the statements aren't labeled correctly. And this simply has to do with the coding that's used within these types of financial statement imports. Okay, so just be wary. Always go back and check it with your balance sheet. Yours matched, so that's perfect. We had a little bit of a mistake on one, but I don't think that was intentional. I do think that was an accident, but still quite proud. And the rest of these you did very well with. So wonderful job. I look forward to seeing what you put forward in your second module. And then the only thing left is for me to just kind of speak on your write-up. Let me go ahead and pause this real quick. I'm not going to make you guys sit here while I read it, so give me 2 seconds. Okay, so I actually like your write-ups just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a view about what the purpose of these write-ups are. Eventually, you are going to get to Module 6. Module 6 is going to be all about basically bringing everything together. So the 6 ratios you're doing here in Module 3, and then the 5 ratios you are going to be doing in Module 4. You're going to be bringing those together and basically doing a presentation, right? So let me remove some names real quick, bring it down. So as you're taking a look at this, you can always read ahead to the Module 6 assignment instructions. It's welcome and encouraged. If we take a look at what we have going on here, there really wouldn't be too much of a need. Sorry, I have my Grammarly on. There really wouldn't be too much of a need to kind of talk about what EPS does. In this case, it's fine. All I said was, hey, talk about what these mean. So I'm okay with you having this. But do me a favor, once you get to Module 6 and you're speaking on these 11 ratios you're doing, don't go too much into detail about what each ratio means. Because otherwise, yeah, you can assume in Module 6 that your audience knows what the ratio means. But really nice job of analyzing why we think possibly Microsoft has had fairly stagnant EPS, very small, sustainable growth, right? And why NVIDIA is going up so high. You're recognizing that there has been a large period of growth. If we wanted to go into this a little bit deeper, we could have taken a look at the elements of this particular metric. So like, for example, we can say the main contributor is the huge increase in net income for NVIDIA. For Microsoft, you can go and take a look and say, okay, and so let's see, this one might actually be interesting to talk about. If their net income went down, why did their EPS go up? And most likely what we are going to see is a drop in their average shares outstanding. So let's go down actually. And we do see that there was a little bit of a drop in their outstanding shares. So either they retired some shares or they bought back some shares as treasury shares, which caused a better earnings per share for that company, right? So interesting fact. I always think it's kind of interesting to see, okay, net income decreased. Why did EPS go up? And that's why. They retired or bought back some shares from the public. So, and on your other one, great job. It looks like you guys are really getting a good hang of this. I'm not worried about your group at all. Keep up the great work. And as always, please do not hesitate to let me know if you have any questions. So, nice job, Group 1.